Good afternoon. I'm Chasten Pruitt, and I'm presenting my school improvement project over Marlin ISD, which is located in Central Texas. Some background and context on Marlin ISD. Marlin ISD is located in Marlin, Texas, which is the county seat of Falls County in Central Texas. The school district has 3 campuses and has about 880 students between Marlin Elementary School, Marlin Middle School, and Marlin High School. Marlin has been in the news recently as they have been a low-performing school district, and they have the notorious distinction of being the lowest performing school district, as they have not received passing marks for the past 10 years, prompting a state takeover in 2016 based on their failing scores. So, for instance, Marlin ISD is a high minority, high poverty school district. 88.4% of their students are low economically disadvantaged, and then 65.5% of their students are at risk of dropping out of high school. In addition, Marlin ISD academic performance was lower than all state and regional entities. So we're looking to your right side. The last 5 years of Marlin's accountability ratings from 2009 to 2014 shows that the district was academically went from academically acceptable to academically unacceptable to improvement required. The district continued this with 5 straight years of academically unacceptable improvement required based on their scores, which were 20 to 30 points lower than the Region 12 scores and the state scores as well, which prompted the state takeover in 2016. Before this takeover, like we said, that Marlin ISD had poor academic achievement. The district from 2009 to 2011 was academically unacceptable. From 2012 to 2014, the district was rated as improvement required. 5 years of this distinction will have the Texas Education Agency coming in to probably close your school for lack of accreditation, or taking over the school board and promoting their board of managers in order to impact change. So, based on these findings, the TEA assigned 2 special education conservators to Marlin ISD to improve their academic achievement. Once this did not improve their academic achievement, in September 2015, the Texas Education Agency planned to revoke Marlin ISD's accreditation status. And then in 2017, Commissioner Morath appointed a 5-member board of managers to lead Marlin in response to the district receiving 5 straight years of unacceptable academic accountability. In 2019, he extended the placement of that board due to a lack of improvement in the 2017 and 2018 accountability scores, in which Marlin ISD scored an F in the accountabilities. So, based on this premise, the turnaround began in 2020 with the hiring of a superintendent whose key focus was vision change and policy changes. This was a key hire for Marlin ISD in order to promote their change. With the hiring of that superintendent, he hired assistant superintendents that had the same vision as he did, as well as principals and community liaisons that built trust back into the school district. So the first notion of the turnaround was going to change the culture of Marlin ISD as a whole. So the model of the new superintendent, when he was hired, he wanted to institute that Marlin was his, which indicated the direct responsibility to success and failure of the school district. His goal was to change the narrative of this school district and create a culture of success by making sure employees were more viable on campus so students had positive influences. He held celebrations to reward students and teachers for their hard work, and celebrating their accomplishments had a big impact on the morale of staff and students. And then he provided students with brand name clothing for their school uniforms. In this instance, he felt that if you look good, you perform good, and you feel good. And these little details made the difference in the accountability structures of students. The second part was the focus on data and accountability. Before 2020, Marlin ISD had an average of, their students were an average of 2.5 years below grade level. So to combat these learning gaps, this district adopted an online system, an assessment instruction program called iReady, for reading and math, and in addition, he extended the school day by 25 minutes in order to close these gaps and build additional prerequisite skills for students who are behind on their learning. The third issue, he determined how to hire and how to train his new staff and his existing staff. When the superintendent hired his team, he picked people that he knew he could trust and had a personal experience with him and knew that they can do the job. He outlined clear expectations and held them to high standards higher than his own or higher than normal. And he revamped the professional development with a back to basics approach, going back to how you create lesson plans, how do you intentionally look at data in order to create changes for your students. He had an intentional focus on making sure teachers understood how the STAR accountability system worked and how to show student growth in order to make those changes. These foundational skills were needed to implement the changes needed to see growth for the school district, not just campus-wide, but district-wide as well. In addition to his turnaround, he instituted these 4 basic leadership tenets in order for the district leaders to abide by. These 4 principles included to be unapologetically yourself, so you led with conviction and you stay true to your core principles even though the community or the school district did not like it. The second one is you got to have a heart for children, doing what is best for children no matter the cost and no matter who you may anger in the process. The third one is to have a will to win. The notion is that if you win in education, you're going to win for children, and that's the main objective in public education. And last but not least, understand your influence. Your position holds high standards in a small community like Marlin, and your relationships with staff and your relationships with community are key and ideal in order to move the accountability train from failure to success. As a result of these parameters set in place by the superintendent and the leadership team, in 2022, Marlin went from an F rating in 2018 to a B rating in the 2022 accountability scores. Based on this rating, and furthermore, in 2024, Commissioner Morath notified Marlin ISD that the state governance of their school district will end in 2025. He also commented on the diligent work of the district and said the superintendent, in tandem with the school district, had substantial improvements of academic and governance and showed confidence in the future of their district. And as part of this transition, the Board of Trustees will assume their governance, indicating the return of local control back over to the citizens of Marlin. So as you see to the right of your screen, that was Marlin's 2022 accountability score. They got a B overall as a district, and they earned 5 distinctions, and all schools met accountability. Marlin Elementary School had a B, Marlin Middle School had a C, and then Marlin High School had a B. In 2018, they all had Fs, and they had no distinctions met. And these are my references for my presentation today. Thank you.